Good afternoon, everybody. Justin Publon here, WisconsinWX.com meteorologist. It's 1:33 p.m. on this Monday, January 25th, 2021. We're going to start off here with this cool picture I took this morning. You can see all the crystals there. This is from the frost. Right on my tree out in my backyard. Look at the size. I mean, those are probably about a centimeter, maybe like a quarter of an inch to a half inch big, those crystals, and in the sunlight there, backlit. I just thought it was a beautiful photo I wanted to share with you all. There was also a sun halo. I got a picture of it, but I didn't like the way it looked. It looked distorted with the wide angle lens, so I didn't post that one. But yeah, I mean, I'm really happy that I got that picture. Really beautiful. I mean, again, this is probably like the sixth or seventh time it's happened this year already, and yeah, I mean, I was just impressed. So what's going on out there? Well, we're going to be talking about the storm today. It's going to snow in southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, Iowa. It's already snowing out in Iowa and Nebraska. Here you can see on the regional outlook, you have several reports already coming in out there near Lincoln and Omaha. Let's see if I can get on the right screen. Right in here. Okay, really coming down. Oh, a 9-inch report already down there. This is going to be moving this way tonight. And I guess the question really for us is going to be, I mean, since we're up here in Wisconsin, how far north can this snow get? And what is the battle going to look like with the dry air there? Uh, Sometimes when you have a lot of, I call it pinch and swell, you get a swelling of moisture and kind of an impedance almost. And if everything tends to fall in one spot, sometimes it doesn't move as far north as you think it would, as modeled or as you would expect. So I don't know. I mean, every event has its bugaboos, and we'll see about this one. But that's just what I'm watching. I think if it really, really comes down in here, I'm going to be more skeptical about this area. Not getting up into there. So anyway, but yeah, that's what I got. The other issue we're dealing with today is the warnings. The National Weather Service had an issue with its CAP, I think a CAP feed, iPause system, and it was causing the warnings and watches and advisories not to appear on our website because the feed was just empty. No, there's no issue with my website. It's just that the feed was broken. I contacted FEMA, and they actually just told me, like, yeah, you gotta wait. There's an issue. It's been an issue since Friday, and it should be fixed somewhat today. Good news is it does look to be fixed, but now you've got this blotchiness going on. Like, I don't know. I think it's funny, but just full disclosure on that. That's what's going on. Seems to be improving. Okay, here's the event for tonight. This is the NAM high res, and it's probably a little drier than the average, which it's not a bad thing to show because that dry air may become more of an issue than is progged or modeled right now. As of this is supposed to be what it's supposed to look like as of 6 p.m. tonight. Snowing in this region quite heavily, and then as we go through this evening, I'm just going to show you the general evolution. I'm not really going to go to an hour specifically, but what I'm seeing here is when you're talking about this event, you're not seeing a very well organized surface low. This model has the surface low way down here, so this is kind of like another one of those mid to upper level disturbances. But I mean, initially it does look like I think it's stronger if I go back or more together. I mean, you do have a local area of low pressure here. It's supposed to be about right now. Well, actually, this is about right now. The models do show a stronger low in here, but as time goes on, it doesn't strengthen. It actually weakens and kind of becomes more diffuse. Okay, so that as time goes on, you get this issue of weakening. So you have an issue of right now of moisture probably swelling in here and not making it as far north as typical, and then also a weakening low pressure system not able to drive it further north. So you're probably going to have some dry air issues in this region. So things to keep in mind. Let's look at that. No, we don't need to look at that because I have an idea. Well, first of all, let's just look at where we've been and where we've come from, right? So this is, I think overall, this forecast has been pretty consistent up until about yesterday or so when there was a northern trend in the models. And I thought, okay, well, this is interesting to watch. I had on our forecast on our page, I had a lower confidence level just because when you see that trend, you just kind of want to sit back a minute and make sure that you're not jumping to conclusions. But as we look at all these model runs, this is from back on Wednesday? Oh no, this is a day or two ago. Okay, so let's go back. Day or two ago, the models are kind of lighting up this one area. And maybe you're not seeing the heavier amounts over here just based on because I'm taking a 24-hour accumulation block here. Okay, so that's just you're looking at a snapshot in time. But anyways, we'll go through this and see as over time it's kind of been in the same area, but then as we got towards Friday into Saturday, Sunday model runs, they kind of trended north, especially in this area. And I'm like, okay, let's keep an eye on this. So you brought that 1 to 3 up into here, and then the 3 to 6 up into here, or something like that. But then as time has gone on today, you're starting to see that retract a little bit, just a little bit. See, we're flipping back and forth there. So, and when you combine that with the what is this? The European here. European is currently showing something like this. Let's see. I would say something like an inch might be here, and something like 3 to 6 might be like here-ish on this European model. If you look at the GFS is still a little bit more optimistic there in that zone. Okay, but again, there's a lot of dry air probably in here, and you're seeing kind of like a depression, so to speak. But anyways, that's that. With a big swelling in here, a lot of snow going on, and then that kind of trailing off in this area. This is the GFS model. It's a little snowier on the 10 to 1. Now I'm using a 10 to 1. Lately, I've been having better performance, better results with a 10 to 1 ratio. The Kuchera method, I think, is good if used in the proper situation. I think where you have those heavier amounts in southeast Nebraska, southwest Iowa, southern Iowa, you might want to use a Kuchera method down there for some local or heavier amounts. But with the 10 to 1 recently, I've had better luck. So that's what we're using right now, I like it. The only thing between the GFS, other than what I've already mentioned, I don't know. I mean, they're all kind of the same. The European here is just a little bit more conservative across northern Iowa, eastern Iowa, northern Illinois. Here is a short range model, just one of them. They're all a little different, but this one's kind of hinting at this issue here with the dry air, right in here. Okay, so something to keep in mind. These short range models are kind of showing that. They're also showing more heavier snow further south at a 10 to 1. Or not that much further south, but an emphasis on this zone. Not so much in here, but more there for the heaviest of heavy amounts. Okay, you might get a 6 or 7 inch based on this model in this zone. Okay, so just the trend that we're watching. My forecast looks like this right now. I have a 3 to 6 here in the southern tier of Wisconsin counties. I could have probably gone with like a 4 to 7 or a 5 to 7 in this area here somewhere. But because I'm not real concerned, I'm not really paying that much attention to northern Iowa or Iowa or northern Illinois or that zone, for the context of Wisconsin, I think this is going to cover it pretty well. And I'm not going to go beyond that, too much speculation. But I did include the 6 to 12 over here just to save myself some time on this end. But I do have a pretty big 0 to 1 inch zone. I mean that literally, like nothing could fall. I know maybe an inch if you're lucky in that region. The 1 to 3 is where I think the best chance. I think that's more safer at 1 inch, 1 to 2 inch, or even 3. But the 3 to 6 inch zone I think is pretty solid now. But yeah, I mean, it could be that. I mean, if we go back and take a look at this short range model, that 3 to 6 would cover that well too at a 10 to 1. So feel good about that. Okay, we're not going to go chasing higher amounts here near Davenport, Sterling on this event. Current temperatures as of 1 p.m. here on this Monday, 19 degrees. I mean, not highs, but temperatures approaching 20 degrees, which is cold enough for snow. I mean, if it does snow, it will stick. And you may even have better than 10 to 1 snow ratios in southern Wisconsin with that. But when you look down towards, I don't know what this is, I-80 or I-70, either way, Davenport, up towards Dubuque, temperatures do warm up a little bit. So here is another storm. So that's my forecast for this event coming up. We'll see how it goes. Now we want to talk about more maybe their next system for a little bit. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about because a lot of times, like, I'll make an event and then somebody be like, "Hey, what about that storm coming up a week from now?" It's like, dude, like, what about the one that's happening now? But anyways, I'm trying to get ahead of that, I guess. this storm here on the GFS at 132 hours, it would be an interesting one if it were to come through like this. So taking it back a little bit, I think that it would have somewhat of a mix in here, and then snow. So this would be mostly snow in here, and somewhat of a mix here for a while, or rain. Okay, and on the GFS, as we play this through, and then with a bit of wraparound snow, that's how the GFS would play that one here at 132 hours. When I went to take a look at all the other models, I went about 6 hours into the future because I thought that was a better snapshot, because there are differences in timing with that storm out here. So 132 hours looks to be, what is today's? So is that Sunday? Wow, that's a ways off yet. So the European is I don't know, probably a little bit weaker, slower, and further south. Canadian is kind of a little bit more condensed or organized, also a little bit further south, and the GFS is definitely the furthest north at this time frame. So just something to keep in mind here as you get close, go through time. But the GFS to me is not that at all far fetched. I mean, it would not at all surprise me if we got a system to move up into Wisconsin like this, in this pattern that we seem to be moving into. But yeah, that's just a little quick snapshot at the future. Looking at the jet stream here, our system for tonight into Tuesday is kind of in this long, I mean, this is a pretty long jet streak here. There's a short wave, but it's not like this is a big trough, okay, but there's no big trough associated with this system coming through tonight. So it's another factor in, kind of the conservative end of playing this. But as time goes on, I mean, again, it's got a nice jet streak, but it's going to tend to kick that thing way off to the east real quick. More progressive that way. And then as we get into the later parts of this week, maybe a system across the southern United States, or central southern, maybe a system there. And you can see that with this kind of this pinch, this shortwave trough in there, or just trough in general. But anyway, go through time now. This gets towards the middle part of the weekend. So Saturday into Sunday. We were just talking about that system potentially for Sunday on the GFS and European. That would be this one. We'll have to see how that goes. The thing about this pattern is it's not heavily amplified quite yet. It's more of a not zonal, but flatter. I think it's kind of constrained by this trough in here, not allowing this to go nuts up like that way. But as time goes on, as we move into next week, I think maybe that could change. I mean, there looks like there's potential for one more system to come through here. Now, this is at 240 hours, so we're way out. But this would be ideal. This would be a good system if that were to pan out. See all the amplification in that? This would be a large system if that were to work out that way. But who knows? So far out into the future, that hard to tell. Well, that's all I got for you today. Here is the website. Again, if you want kind of a summary in a text format of my thoughts, technically, on what contributes to the maps that I make or whatever I'm thinking at the moment, you can go to the website, and that information will be all there. I may not update much more today on this system. I kind of feel like I'm in a good spot with it. And we'll be looking to the future. I have no updates planned beyond this until needed. I'm also working on the website too. That's part of it. Like I said, I'm working on the nav menu to get that fixed up or changed, improved. And we're also going to have it be so you got this nav menu here that, you're kind of not really sure where you're going to find some of the things you're looking for. But so sometimes you have to explore. But with the new nav menu, at least on the desktop, it should be a maximum of 2 clicks, and you'll pop up to this, and you'll see a list of all the pages that we have and where you can go. So it should be simpler, better use for that, and then also an improvement to these storm alerts, because what I want to do is I want to remove the manual work that I typically do. So this storm event here is actually something that I created from scratch that alerts to, and it'll take you to the same page here that's listed. I mean, these are going to go to the same place. But what I want to do is make this a National Weather Service alert so that you can click through it and find the National Weather Service stuff. Just another way to automate it to reduce the workload on me, because I anticipate I'll be having less time to do this in the future, unlike before. Okay, a year ago when I wanted to do this, full time and make a business out of it, I was trying to create more work for myself to fill that time, but now it's sort of doing the opposite. So. Which is good. I think it's a good thing, and it also constrains it down to the things that I'm interested in talking about and doing. Like this YouTube video, this is fun for me. It's interesting, and it gets my message, what I want to say, across quickly. But that I'm working on. I also figured out a way to do to add my YouTube videos. So this one you're watching right now, to have them listed on the homepage in here. So I already have that into the new into the development side. I'm just working on some of these other things that I talked about before I release it. But yes, anyways, thank you for watching. And yeah, I mean, stay tuned. Hopefully, if you're in southern Wisconsin, you get some snow tonight. That would be fun. And I hope maybe there's some more storms in the future. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.